Welcome to another episode of Dinosaur Parkour. Faster, better, mainframe programming. This video is part of a series. The topic is Initial TSO ISPF Setup, tweaking the various settings to make ISPF your own. I'm your host, Chris P. Fried. If you have not already done so, please subscribe. It does matter. This shows the environment used to create this video, ZRS 2.4, ISPF for ZRS 2.4, which had an internal ID of 7.4. This video is going to cover two settings, changing position of the command line and where the cursor goes when the home key is pressed. The command line can be at the bottom or the top. I want to change the location of the command line to be at the top rather than the bottom. Type 0 on the command line and press enter. We want to unselect command line at the bottom and press enter. Nice. The command line is now at the top. Press the home key. Notice how the cursor jumped to the action bar choices? I do not like that behavior. I want the cursor to land on the command line when the home key is pressed. Unselect tab to action bar choices and press enter. Move the cursor to somewhere in the middle of the panel. Press home. Cool bean. The cursor went to the command line rather than the action bar choices. Now to be technical, the cursor went to the first input field starting from the top left. If the command line is at the top, the first input field is going to be the command line for most panels. Some folks might like being able to get to the action bar choices quickly. Are there ways to access the action bar when the home key no longer jumps to it? First, let me explain why quick access to the action bar might be desired. That Utilities choice is on many of the ISPF panels, and using it can be a shortcut to jump to the various utilities. Utility is on the primary ISPF menu, on the Edit Entry panel, on the Edit Member List panel. Let's edit the member evalcon. Press enter. While editing evalcon, utilities is a choice. If the action bar is missing when you edit a member, it was likely turned off. It can be toggled off by using the Edit Settings choice. Since I turned off the Home to Action Bar choices, I want to mention a couple of ways to quickly get to the action bar choices. On the command line, type Action U. The word action is plural. The U is the understored letter in utilities. So if you wanted a third choice, edit settings, you would type Action D. Let's press enter and see what happens for Action U. It selects the option and shows the drop down menu. Press PF12 for cancel to get out of the menu. PF3 exits the member, not just the drop down. It would be nice if action were assigned to a PF key. Type PF show on the command line and press enter. Sadly, it is not, at least not for my edit panel. Move the cursor to the first line and press PF2 for split. The dots at the top of the screen is our visual clue that the screen has been split. Notice that PF10 is assigned the action of action for the primary ISPF option panel. Type U on the command line and press PF10 for action. A couple of things occurred. One, the drop down for the utilities source opened. That was expected. And the second line of PF show disappeared, which was not expected. What occurred when PF10 was pressed? When a PF key is pressed, the words on the command line are passed to the action assigned to the PF key. Thus, the action command was invoked with the argument of U. The utilities action was selected. To get out of the drop-down, press PF12, which is assigned the action of cancel. Remember, pressing PF3 triggers the exit action, which might exit the panel. I know I said a couple of ways to get to the action bar, but I thought of some more. A third way is to use the mouse to move the cursor onto an action and press enter. A fourth way is to use the jump action, which is discussed in another video, specifically the ISPF setup video about jump from leader dots. A fifth way is to define commands in a command table to open various utilities or services. I type commands on the command line way more than I want to navigate the action bar. By turning off the home to action bar, the home key is a quick way to jump to the command line. There are so many other ways to access the action bar, one of which is to type action and the letter for the desired source on the command line. This has been another episode of Dinosaur Parkour, faster, better mainframe programming. Thank you for listening. Please consider subscribing to the Dinosaur Parkour channel if you found this video useful. There should be a subscribe icon on the screen.